Yeah. Can you explain like where like the ERMI testing? It's just the dust sample, right? Like, what part does that play in? Because so many people, I don't know if you guys use that, but so many people that I've heard start there.
Yeah, we don't do ERMI testing.
We don't do ERMI.
ERMI testing
not
is
valuable.
not recommended at all, even by the EPA. EPA does not recommend ERMI testing. We don't ever do it, have never.
And it's still out there because I'm hearing people telling me that they do it and that they're, it's just not reliable at all.
It's a shame.
Very
You can do the
expensive.
EMA, which is also mycotoxins. See, there's the ERMI is just the spores, but the EMA, or you can add the mycotoxin. So would that be more valuable?
Yes, but ERMI testing here. Let me qualify that. ERMI testing was originally created, and I'll send you a document on this, as a research or study. It was, and it lumps you into groups of people in certain areas. It's not very specific to the home at all. And it was never created to be mold testing. It was mold research, right? So it provides you, in my opinion, nothing valuable to an assessor, right? To a physician, maybe it provides you something, but not a ton. Now, on the mycotoxin side, I go out and do a mycotoxin test in somebody's home. And normally the testing that we do is EMA testing. We get a swab from the intake of their furnace, if they have a traditional furnace, or some dust swipes, depending. They're so expensive, right? So when you guys order a mycotoxin sample and they're getting dust samples or whatever they might be getting, and you're saying one per room, they're $200-$300 each, I get these results that are like, I don't know how the person's living or breathing in the house. This happens 7 out of 10 times. And I say, you cheated on that test. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, it was expensive, so you cheated. They're like, yeah, I cheated. I go, so how many swabs did you take on this one sample? Well, 5 or 6 or 7. So they go to all these rooms. They go to all these rooms in the house with anything that could be visual, getting swabs, and they send it in. And it's supposed to be one room, right? And it's 5, 6 rooms. So the results are through the roof because this swab or dust collection that they use has got 5, 6 rooms and dust from everywhere in the house. So it doesn't tell me much. So when I get the mycotoxin test, right, for the home, and we go out and take that test without a limited visual inspection, history of the home and all that, the mycotoxin test, it doesn't tell me a whole lot, right? So if I get a positive test and go to the house, I'm looking for mold, right? Obviously, it could have been previous, but where do you start if there's nothing visual and there's no history? If they just moved in, and I don't want to start busting up the house. So normally, my suggestion would be contact somebody who's a professional to do a visual assessment of the home first. If they identify it, then I would do the mycotoxin test to determine if what that assessor is seeing is what's in their body. And now you've identified the source for sure. Anyway, that's my suggestion.
Yeah, but I'm usually, so clinically we're suspicious. Yeah. I don't have the patient do those testing.
Yeah.
I have to be very suspicious. And then also there's history of leaks and water damage. And they see, there's all that. Then because it's so expensive, then I get them to have the mold inspector come out. And then they do that first visual inspection and they say, we are suspicious. We are seeing some things. So there's a certain price for that first, maybe like $700 or something. But we would like to do now the mycotoxin testing. We would like the swab. So then they do that as the next stage. This is at least the way they do it on the east, northeast. So they're going stepwise because that is very expensive, and that's I don't have the patients unless they will not do the mold inspection. They're too they can't afford it, and I say, all right, you can do some EMA testing yourself if you want to. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that that's usually the
We actually help people that want to do the EMA testing find the EMA test directly from Real-Time Lab instead of selling it to them,
right?
So that they can actually afford it.
But the bigger deal is, like I said earlier, we're kind of, I feel like a Hail Mary pass in most cases that they haven't been able to figure out what's going on with the person. They're not feeling better. What you said is exactly the way it should be done. Unfortunately, it's just not done that much here that way. And I guess we wish it was. because what you said is exactly the way it should happen, and it's the way we do it. But the referrals we get from a lot of the functional medicine aren't handled that way.
The patients tell us.
We get everything from the patient, and it's because they must suspect. But a lot of instances, I feel like it's, like I said earlier, kind of like a Hail Mary pass.
So if we could come up with some kind of a standard process that the medical community would actually help to support, that would not only provide affordability, but the professionals, the team approach that's needed in order to be able to help the person as a whole and eliminate the problem, that would be like our perfect dream.
So some of the questions that you guys asked, we can do quickly. How much